welcome to the show. I'm Bob Saget. Today we have representatives from each different social class. We have the upper class, the middle class, and the lower class. Okay, so what do you do in your daily life?
Well, like most people in the upper class are rich business families or wealthy entrepreneurs. I'm a very successful entrepreneur. I make lots of money.
Middle class, what do you do?
People in the middle class are doctors, scientists, and middle-level business people. I'm a doctor. I'm Dr. Smart.
Lower class?
People in the lower middle class are teachers, office workers, and a few are peasants. I'm a farmer.
Middle class, what's most important to you?
It's important that parents have to be strict on their children and servants, because if the servant or child misbehaves, it's reflected badly on the entire family.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Can one of you please explain the code of etiquette?
Yes, the code of etiquette is a code that governs social behavior, such as rules that dictated how to dress for every occasion, when to write letters, how to pay a social call, and how long to mourn for a dead person.
Those are some really strict rules. What is it like at your guys' home?
Well, like my husband, he earns so much money that I don't have to work. So as a woman, I stay at home, spending like all my time raising my children, ordering around all of my servants, and doing other religious and charitable services.
Middle class, what's it like at your home?
My husband works in an office, and I run the household when I'm not at work.
Alright, will someone please explain the cult of domesticity?
The cult of domesticity idolizes the women in the home.
Okay. And how does this affect the woman?
Well, like it made all the women like stop working, and so they all stayed at home and had to take care of like all the children, and then all the servants had to take over the family businesses. Yeah.
Is this a positive or a negative effect?
It was a negative effect because the women are making less money.
Okay. Do any of you think that these values will be the same in the future?
I think they might be, but they won't be as strict and they won't have as many problems as we have now.
Alright. Thank you for coming on my show.
You're welcome, Mr. Saget.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Whatever.
Social classes of the industrial age were upper class, middle class, and lower middle class.
An example of the upper class are rich business families, wealthy entrepreneurs. An example of middle class are doctors, scientists, and middle-level business people. Examples of lower middle class are teachers, office workers, and peasants.
Values of the middle class were parents had to be strict on their children and servants, because if they misbehaved, then it would reflect badly on the entire family. And the code of etiquette is a code that governs social behavior, such as rules dictated how to dress for every occasion, when to write letters, how to pay social call, and how long to mourn for a dead person.
For upper class, husbands earned enough money to keep the wife at home, and for the middle class, husbands went to work in an office.
Cult of domesticity idolized the women and the home. It made the women stop working. They also had to stay home and take care of their children while servants carried out the family businesses. It was also a negative effect because they were making less money.
The values of the middle class today are not the same as this period because they're not as strict and they don't have as many issues as they had then.